Now we turn to one of our other top stories this morning at 6:10. It's day 3 where thousands of port workers are on strike. Now this is happening from the Gulf up the East Coast, and we are getting answers for you this morning about the impact this could really have on your own wallet.
Right, of course, because at first when you're hearing about the strike, you think it's happening east of us, so maybe it won't impact, but it will. 12 News journalist Troy Lynch is digging into this one. You're live outside of the U.S. Department of Commerce department in Phoenix. Troy, tell us about those local impacts.
Yeah, local impacts. When you talk about Arizona, you realize maybe it's not near one of these port cities that is going under strike right now. However, if there's no resolution that comes very soon, Arizona could see the impacts of this, especially in their restaurants and also in their businesses. But if we're talking about food right now, some of the local impacts that we could see is the number of bananas and fish that are coming through those 36 ports to our local restaurants, and even could raise prices, which nobody wants to see. Now, the Arizona Restaurant Association became aware of the possibility of a strike just a few weeks ago to try to prepare the best they can. And the president of the ARA, Steve Chukri, he says that the Arizona restaurants haven't seen systemic issues just yet because of how new this is. However, some are already eliminating or temporarily postponing some items on their menu that are affected by the strike, but some are trying to go through other ports to get their supplies.
I think what you're seeing now is that pivot to say, okay, we're not going to go through those ports. We'll go to West Coast ports, or we'll go to wherever we can. But sometimes that's not as easy as you may think. But I know, and I'm being told, that alternative plans like that are being discussed in the event that this goes on longer than anticipated.
Steve also went on to say that since the pandemic, food and labor costs have gone up 30%. And now he's concerned with these strikes that food could go up even more. We're live here in Phoenix. Troy Lynch, 12 News, Today in AZ.
And Troy, is interesting. We talked a lot here amongst ourselves about the impacts, thinking, okay, yes, of course, the dry goods. But when you talk about the fresh food coming in here, it's just something that maybe you didn't think would be impacted by this port strike.
Yeah, these port strikes really just affect so many different things. I mean, talking with Professor Dale Rogers from ASU, and he's one of the professors for the supply chain management program, and he says that medicine and chemicals and other goods could be affected. And it's interesting because we're not going to be seeing it right now. This could come in the next couple of weeks. So I think everybody collectively should be hoping that this strike ends sooner rather than later, because the impact could be hitting us a lot harder if the resolution comes later. And obviously people, they want their food, they want their bananas, they want their fish, they want their goods, because this affects a lot of things. However, this strike is very complicated.
So interesting, the ripple effect.
Absolutely, and we're just starting to see the beginning of it. Troy, thank you.